Hi, I'm Eric with Narrow Road Van Conversions. This is Paul. He's the craftsman on this build. Can you fit a full shower, a full kitchen, and still sleep 3 people in a Ram 2500? Well, why don't you come on in and have a look around. First things you notice walking up is the beautiful birch woodwork. You can see here we have a flip down table going out the sliding door. That's a nice spot to set things when you're camping. We got a flip up here for the passenger seat. We've got a 32-inch shower here, and in the distance you can see the mountains. Paul, you can tell us a little bit about some of the finer details in here.
Well, the customer wanted the mountain scene, so she pre-cut them, and then we added a few pieces. We got our cabinet lights are up here, so we can turn on and off our lights. Water heater switch, our standard sink, pull-out cutting board. With the rounded edges. And a newer microwave that we're going to now recently. These are really nice.
A little more ventilation around these units is why we went to them.
Yep. A little storage up here. But not only does this sleep 3, as Eric told you earlier, but you can sit and feed 3. Little pull-out table here. We can feed 3.
And across, you've got a bench that's plenty wide for 2 people. But that's not just a bench, is it?
No, it's not. But before we get there, let's go to the drawers, and hence the band's nickname, the Dovetail. All the drawers in this are dovetailed, and it worked really good with birch, with the Baltic birch plywood. But let's get to the bed portion. Off comes this cushion, just so I can see what I'm doing. Go.
So the customer wanted a little extra room for the upper body when you're sleeping with your feet tucked up underneath the other bed. Of course, that does eat into the garage a little bit, but that was the trade-off here in order to get 3 into a 2500.
It's pretty deep back there.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to, I can see it from here even better.
And then the bed, of course, hinges like our normal hinging bed that we do. It's got the kick-out legs here. Hold it up. There you can see how this table pulls out a little bit better here into the garage area. And you can see where the feet would go down in underneath on this second bed. Again, widening out about 10 inches more to allow for a little bit more upper body room when you're sleeping in that spot.
And moving forward, we have the ever-chill refrigerator.
Above that, we have an induction cooktop. And the flip up here for the passenger that we mentioned.
More storage.
Above the bed, we have our normal awning bunk windows on both sides. We've got 2 reading lights on the driver's side or the head side of the bed with an outlet. We've got geese out back.
Our new neighbors.
Yeah. Up on the ceiling, we've got a cedar that we left natural. Most everything else is birch butcher block. As Paul mentioned before, Baltic birch cabinet faces and drawers. Underneath the sink, we've got a garbage hooked onto the door, and we got a lot of space underneath the sink for some storage. All the plumbing's nice and neatly tucked back in the corners, so you got plenty of room. We've got a max air vent fan up above. Yeah, we mentioned the shower. And then on the other side, we've got the shower light there. A normal headliner space up above, and then there's a curtain that pulls across for some quick privacy. We had this curtain custom tailored to fit right around that corner just like that with a little magnet. Easily goes back to behind the driver's seat. Of course, there's 2 factory seats in here that are factory swivels also. They got the push button start on here, and they've got some nicer features in here. They also have a rear view mirror camera that works quite nice. The main lights are in our normal location on the side of the steps. Underneath in the toe kick, you can see where the air heater comes out, and the thermostat and the control unit are up here behind this flip down. Nice, easy, convenient location to reach from the bed. You can see there's little recesses back here on the head side of the bed, behind that pillow, and on the foot side of the bed. Now we still have insulation in behind that wall. It is much thinner, which allows us to get about the max that you can get out of the width of a ProMaster sleeping, and that's 6'5" inches. I mentioned this was a full width mattress. That's about 56 inches wide. Battery monitor mounted up above the door. Moving over to the 5-gang switch, we have the inverter on a remote switch, a couple of blank spots, one of which goes up onto the roof for some future lights. The gray water tank. We mentioned the induction cooktop. Stepping backwards out of the van, you'll notice with the cedar ceiling that we put a little bit of cedar right on this edge here too. It's kind of nice as you enter in. All you see is, looks like a continuous ceiling going across. Moving outside, it's a Ram 2500, not extended, so it's about 20 inches shorter than the 3500. We have a roof rack up top with 3 175 watt Renogy solar panels. We have a shore power inlet over there. We've got cedar up above the back doors to match the ceiling. Moving around to the garage area, which is a little smaller than the normal garages because of the bonus of having the 3rd sleeping position in there. But in here you can see we've left the inverter a little bit exposed, which is nice because it does need some ventilation. And this is the electrical side, and you open this panel here to expose the WeBoost, the master power switch, and the solar power fuse. Down here are the main fuses. The alternator charges the batteries in this fan, and the main fuse. We have 4 Battleborn batteries in here, and right below that we have the DC fuses and the AC fuses. This panel over here can be easily removed if you needed to access any of the other electrical items. We always keep the screws exposed for easy access to that if any maintenance was ever required. You can see up above here, that's the table that slides out. We relocated one of the lights back here into the garage area so that lights up when the garage door is open. It's timed out, that's why it's out. Well, we're trying to be respectful of the nesting geese here. We have a gorgeous spot for our workshop here. Very lucky. Sorry about the honkers in the video. Over on the driver's side, we've got the plumbing compartment. We've got a door that flips down here to expose a little bit of storage above the freshwater tank. Nice place to throw your extra hoses, your shore power cable, and a lot of other things you can fit in here. Here you can see our hot water heater, which I've explained before, which is an engine heat hot water heater that uses the antifreeze out of the motor and circulates it through the water tank for free hot water, relatively free hot water. Backing out, we've got a smoke detector, and underneath we have what's become our standard 5-valve system to cover a multitude of needs for filling and maintaining your water. Over here is the key to all that and the location of all the switches. Well, thanks a lot for coming along on this walkthrough with us. If you would like to have a custom-built van to your exact specifications, send me an email in the email address below in the description, and I'd be happy to get an estimate out to you. On behalf of Paul and Eric with Narrow Road Van Conversions, thanks. We'll see you on the road.
Yep.